surprisingly how funny it was.
It was pretty funny.
Obviously dark humor.
The cinema couple. The cinema couple.
Hey guys, it's Spencer.
And Shannon.
And we're the Cinema Couple. Today we are doing our first podcast episode with our review of Send Help. And we're changing it up a little bit. So every big podcast episode, we'll do the bigger movie that we saw the last week. And this week it's going to be Send Help. And we're going to also start with a little in case you missed it with movie and TV news in the last week or so. There was a lot of big headlines that came out. So maybe you missed it, didn't see this or anything like that. So at least this will be your way of finding out. So the first big news was Apple came out with their 2026 film slate. And it's 5 big movies coming throughout the year. The first one being Outcome, which is directed and co-written by Jonah Hill. And it stars Keanu Reeves, Cameron Diaz, Matt Bomer. And it's about a artist or a Hollywood actor who his career is jeopardized when a mysterious and embarrassing films come out. And they had to figure out where this film came from and how to just, figure out and stop it. The next one is The Dink, and that's with Jake Johnson from New Girl. And it's just a simple sports comedy. He's a tennis player who ends up getting involved in coaching in the craze of pickleball. That comes out July 24th. Next is Matchbox, the movie, which is Mattel's next movie after Barbie. Pretty much just a Fast and Furious with Matchbox cars. That stars John Cena and Jessica Biel, and that's going to come out October 9th. Then we have Mayday, which is Ryan Reynolds and Kenneth Branagh. And it's basically a comedic behind enemy lines. Ryan Reynolds is a pilot who crashes in Soviet Russia. It's during the Cold War, so that should be funny when it comes out. That's September 4th. And then the last movie that they announced was The Way of the Warrior Kid, which stars Chris Pratt. And he's a Navy SEAL who helps his bully nephew kind of grow into himself. And that's set to come out November 20th. So you could talk about the next big thing here.
The next one here, which I'm pretty excited about, new M. Night movie. So this is a supernatural romantic thriller. This is based off the novel Vermain by Nicholas Sparks. So I will have to add this to my book list because big fan of reading the book and then watching the movie coming out. Been doing that a lot lately. And it's also starring Jake Gyllenhaal. So I think that'll be good. And that's set for February 5th, 2027. So we have a little bit of a wait, but
it did get moved from fall 2026. So if you're like Shannon and you like reading the books prior to the movies, you do have a lot more time now since it did get pushed.
Yeah.
The next big thing is A24 picked up the Chainsaw Massacre franchise. So they're planning on making that a TV show and more of a long-form exploration of the universe and the mythology behind Leatherface and the whole Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Would you watch that? Are you interested in that?
I would, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting to see it as a TV show and stuff like that. I was just talking the other day about I don't think slashers are very scary. They're more kind of
just gory,
goofy and gory. There is definitely some scarier ones. My grandma said Halloween was always her scariest movie she ever seen. But watching it, it's not scary, but I could see at the time why people would think it'd be scary.
Yeah.
So I watch it. I'm not the biggest horror film guy, but I will watch it when the time comes. And I don't think that this will be crazy scary. A24,
we'll see.
They do a good job with their horrors. A24 does. So we'll see how that comes out.
I'm excited for that.
You want to talk about this one?
So a TV show based off the movie Cape Fear, coming in June. And this will be on HBO.
No, sorry.
Oh.
On Apple TV.
Oh, that was confusing.
All right, restart.
So this next one, another Apple TV show, Cape Fear coming out, and I believe it's Amy Adams.
Yeah, Amy Adams and Javier
Bardem.
Yeah.
Okay, that should be pretty
I think
good.
that should be a good cast. Yeah. So that's coming June 5th. Wrapping up here, we have a couple more. Is the Baldur's Gate 3 video game that's getting a TV show coming to HBO. For anyone who doesn't know, Baldur's Gate is essentially in the Dungeons and Dragons realm, and it's one of the best games of all time. and that's coming to HBO, which I'm excited for. HBO is good with their fantasy, especially after Apple TV came out with the Brandon Sanderson news. I think this is kind of HBO's way to get kind of back into the fantasy realm and kind of compete with that. And Craig Mazin, the guy who does Last of Us, is set to have a big part in the Baldur's Gate franchise.
Oh, okay.
And it also is telling a story immediately taking place after the game. It's not about the game itself. It's going to be after the game. I think we're both pretty excited about this one.
Oh yeah, new Pirates of the Caribbean movie, starring Margot Robbie. No conclusion yet on whether Johnny Depp will be in it or not, so we'll have to wait for.
Yeah, I think that he's kind of deciding. I think Disney's also kind of making their decision on what they want to do about bringing him back.
So,
and then the last one to just wrap up the movie and TV news for the last week is Austin Butler is going to star as Lance Armstrong in a biopic. So there's no real details out about that yet, just that he's going to be playing Lance Armstrong. So we'll keep an eye on that when it does come. Yeah. So that's it in case you missed it this week. I'm sure maybe some people have heard those things. Maybe you didn't. Let us know your opinion on any of those things that we just mentioned. And yeah, we're just excited for another good year of film and TV coming up. And that kind of with Baldur's Gate and Cape Fear, another adaptation like the book and the movie, stuff like that, it kind of brings us into our question of the day. And that is, what book, comic book, video game, anything that you want to see come to either the big screen or the television series? So what do you think? What are you so excited to eventually come to either a movie franchise or TV show?
Definitely gonna have to say A Court of Thorns and Roses series. I read all of them last year. And I'm still trying to decide whether I'd rather see it as a movie, like each book be a movie, or a TV show. So I'm not sure.
I mean,
which
just
one.
I just want it to happen because I'm so sick of even me wanting to be like Ryzan, so I need to see what he's actually like.
Yeah.
So I can start being like that.
Yeah, but if they do a TV show, the only company that can pick it up is HBO, I think. Maybe Apple TV could do it, but I just think like this is going to have to be the level of Game of Thrones. They can't be doing this cheap and cutting corners. Like this has to be big.
Right.
And it's very like similar to Game of Thrones as like that fantasy and everything. So it would have to be HBO. I think Hulu was trying to pick it up, but the author Sarah J. Maas said no to that. So now it's back out there. So I'm not sure. There's so much that happens in these books though that I feel like they would just be cramming so much into a movie.
Yeah,
each book. So yeah, that way if they do a TV show that's 10 hours to 10 how many episodes they do, like that could potentially be 12 or so hours of each book compared to like a 2.5 hour, 3 hour movie.
Right.
So we'll see, but that would be my pick. Oh my gosh.
And then mine was the Stormlight Archive from Brandon Sanderson, but that obviously is getting picked up by Apple TV. So my next one would also be in the fantasy realm, and I think it would be specifically Skyrim, but I would love to see the entire Elder Scrolls told also probably as a television show. But either way, I just would love to see that come to live action. I think Skyrim is my favorite video game of all time. I love playing it. I love the story, everything about it. I would love to see that come to the big screen or television eventually. So yeah,
I definitely see that happening.
I think it would. Yeah. I mean, video games becoming a lot more popular as stuff like that. So I think so. So let us know in the comments what you guys are eagerly and dying waiting for to come to either movie or TV. And we'll keep an eye out for anything if it ever comes across our way in case you missed it. With that being said, I would just yesterday real quick, I just had like a nostalgia moment, and I was listening to the Beastie Boys, and I was just thinking about how I had a CD of it that I got from my cousin, and then I was just thinking like I really miss like going to the mall and going to the CD store and going to get you pick out your CDs, go through all those things, the genres, and then picking the movie poster and stuff like that. And it connects to us being the cinema couple because like going to Blockbuster on a Friday night
Oh
and
my
picking out your
gosh,
movie
the
and
best.
getting your pizza with your family and stuff like
Mhm.
that, or going to the movie theater, waiting in line at the ticket booth. Like everything is just like right at our hands now, and it's like I just miss that like going out and doing something, feeling
Yeah, it
and
was
like
more of like a big deal.
yeah, like
Like
I think having everything at the fingertips like just takes
kind
away
of it takes the
from
fun out of it.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
like going to see the movie with a friend or your family or a date, like your first
Yeah.
date. Like movies are big first date.
Like
Not to
that's
be
what we said in
on.
our intro. Like instead of just like being at home to watch these movies, like we're kind of like romanticizing it
Yes,
now.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
getting ready for a date night, going to the movies, getting your snacks and everything. Like we're
yeah,
just trying to bring like that aspect back.
yeah. I don't know. I just like it's like one of those things where like you don't know when you're living in the good times until you
Until
leave
it's
them.
gone. Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, there's many great things that are better today because
Sure.
of
Yeah.
technology. But like,
Yeah.
I really wish we could just go back to having blockbusters at CD stores and like going to the mall on a Friday night and stuff like that. Like
Yeah,
just like being out.
we didn't have a Blockbuster like that was too close to us, but we would go to it's called Techno Video.
Oh
That
yeah,
was our rental movie store, and there was a pizza shop right next door. And I don't know if it was owned by the same people or not, but their door was open to it.
oh
So we'd
that's cool.
first go to the pizza place, put in our pizza order, and then we'd go over to Techno Video and use that time while they were making our pizza to
Yeah,
look for a video, buy our video, and then get our pizza and go home.
Yeah.
That was like the best
Yeah,
night
no, I mean,
ever.
it's like, yeah, like Nora has a great time when we have a movie night or whatever. We get
Hmm.
excited, but like, I don't know, just the thrill of going out, getting the
Hmm.
pizza on a Friday night after like your parents' work or whatever, picking up the movie, coming home. It's not the same.
Yeah.
And that's what we kind of want to do is like, we want to go out more, whether it's going to see a movie, or trying to shop more out, public and stuff like
Hmm.
that, like and support businesses. So that's I don't know, I was just feeling nostalgic
Yeah.
yesterday when I listened to
I
Beastie
get
Boys.
that. I
So,
feel that.
but so with that being said, that's kind of our intro for the day. We're going to get right into our Send Help review, and I loved it. I think it
Yeah.
was great. It was very very good. I think what made this movie work, because this has kind of been done before, like people trapped on an island, all this stuff,
Yeah.
is surprisingly how funny it
It
was.
was pretty funny.
Obviously dark humor,
Yeah.
but it
In
was
like a
hilarious.
cringy way
Yes,
too.
yeah,
A lot of times I was like this, covering my face but laughing.
yeah, yeah. The humor was what
Yeah.
really made this movie,
Hmm.
because it is a good story without the humor and a good like kind of thriller.
For sure.
But the humor was just so. And I know Dylan O'Brien from like Teen Wolf when he was Styles, and he played that goofy character. So even though he's kind of playing
He
a
brought that
douchebag,
out a little bit.
yeah, he
Yeah.
definitely brought out the goofy. He definitely nailed down the douchebag laugh too. So if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about with that. And Rachel McAdams is just an outstanding
She's always
actress.
great.
She can do anything too, whether it's comedy, drama, anything. She was very good. And most people probably know what Send Help is, but just like a quick recap, they Rachel McAdams works for Dylan O'Brien's uh, father's company, and he ends up taking it over. And she is a worker bee. She's very hard to work. She was promised a promotion from Dylan O'Brien's father and everything like that, but she is one of those people who's kind of comes off as weird and gross, and she wants to be social, but she's very not like that at all. Like nobody wants to hang out with her. She's like a pariah in the office. So, but the thing is, she's needed because she's so good at her job. So they go on a business trip, and on this business trip, Dylan O'Brien has his bros that work with him, and Rachel McAdams, and they go, and there's a plane crash.
Hmm.
No surprise there, and only Dylan O'Brien and Rachel McAdams end up on this island. And then the entirety of the movie is them kind of trying to survive on the island. And yeah, I'm trying to stay away from spoilers to start. Like, it's a typical like movie where they're on the island and they're surviving. They start losing their minds. It's like, but it's interesting. Is like you kind of start like rooting for back and forth between the two.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Definitely back
yeah,
and forth.
because you're definitely starting obviously rooting for Rachel McAdams because
Yeah.
she's treated so poorly, but then you kind of see this like change in character of Dylan O'Brien where you're like, all right, well, hopefully they kind of both both make it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else to say about that?
Oh, well, I don't want to say any spoilers.
All right. Yeah. Like I will say too, like the trailer, like without spoilers, like if you're going off the trailer, I wouldn't necessarily call it a slow burn, but the trailer definitely portrays this movie being like a throughout the whole thing, like a gory fight to the death.
Like I definitely stayed like entertained the whole time.
Oh
and
yeah,
invested in the story. But yeah, the middle, I'm like, okay, where is this gonna go? Like I didn't know how it was gonna end.
Yeah, right.
Like it really could have gone like so many different ways.
Mm-hmm.
But I really liked the ending.
I did too. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little bit of surprise. It was.
I don't really have like any too negative. Like this is a great movie. Like I definitely recommend anybody going to see this. Like this is super fun to go watch. If you like
the thrillers.
Well, yeah, if you like Sam Raimi and thrillers,
a little gory.
It's I would say even more than a little. Like,
it usually takes a lot for me to like cover my eyes, but I did a lot of that.
It is definitely gory, so if you don't like gore at all, don't go see it.
It was gross.
But if you can handle it, it is gory, but it has good thriller, and it is like a hilarious dark comedy. Which again, I think that's what separates this movie from similar ones like this.
Yeah.
So go see it. I would give it an 8 for a thriller. Like I would absolutely give it an 8.
I think I agree with that. An 8.
So that's our like unspoiler review, and now we'll kind of get into spoilers and talk about some stuff.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go into our spoiler part, but we're not gonna like describe every scene or stuff like that. We'll probably mention stuff that is in the movie. So if you don't care or you're interested, just keep watching. If you haven't seen it yet and you don't want to hear anything about this movie, just click away for now and come back after you guys go see the movie. So. Yeah, watching these guys just their emotions go from high to low, all this stuff. They're like you're just watching them change from like, okay, we're crashed, let's survive, to Rachel McAdams wanting to stay there and practically live there, but like Dylan O'Brien to like becoming like a douche to kind of like seeming to be like a decent guy now towards Rachel McAdams, and then him starting to go like crazy the entire time. And it was just like they just both did such a good job with like playing the role and having so many different emotions throughout the entirety of the movie. And
the character change throughout too.
Yeah, like they absolutely had like I don't even know if you call it an arc because it was just like so many different like where are they going to go with the character.
And then there was a surprise like every 10 or so minutes it's like, oh, this surprise, and then you think something's going one way and then it's not,
right? And
then when they found the house, and that was a whole surprise too.
Oh yeah, I didn't expect the house, but like the house at the end, I knew something was on the other side of the island. Like I knew something was there.
You did?
Oh, absolutely. I just thought it was kind of obvious, but like you knew, I didn't think it was a billionaire's house, but like something was definitely over there that Rachel McAdams
was trying to hide.
Right, and then she did because she got the knife from there. She was living there pretty much like when he was like gone, when he was out in the count, broken his leg.
What I wanted to say this, what I liked, I complain a lot about movie trailers a lot because I feel like sometimes they show way too much detail, and a lot of times, which it's probably going to change now just because of what we're doing on here, but I tend to not watch too many trailers, or at least like seek them out too much, because I like to be surprised.
Yeah.
Like especially like with comedies too, like they show like the funny parts and then you're ready for it in the movie, and then it's like, well, I already saw that.
There's some movies
so I think this movie did a very good job with the trailer and like all those scenes of like the blood splashing onto their face. And all
the one scene
it's not
where she jumps off the tree.
Yeah.
It's in the trailer. We're in the spoiler section. She's going after a pig.
Yeah, like I was not.
Yeah, they make it seem like they're fighting each other, but that's not really the case. And that's kind of why I said earlier, it's like, I wouldn't necessarily call it a slow burn, but what you see in the trailer, like they're not fighting each other the entire time in the movie. It's really just like the last 20 minutes they're actually fighting each other.
Yeah.
So to your point, like the trailer did do a good job of like, I mean, you could argue if it did or didn't do a good job because like you're gonna think it's one way, like it's going to be in.
It still kept the element of surprise.
Yeah, it did. But I think what the trailer did do is I don't think it put like any humor in the trailer. I think it made it seem like, okay, these two people absolutely hate each other and they're going to be fighting the entire time. That's not the case. It's like a dark humor, like almost like in a weird way for like a brief section, like a rom-com.
Almost,
and
yeah.
like a dark rom-com. And then it has the twists and the turns and everything like that.
Yeah.
You know, because Dylan O'Brien's fiance ends up coming on the island, finding them, and Rachel McAdams like kills them again. So she isn't discovered. She wants to live on this island with Dylan O'Brien. There is some good jump scares.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There was some that caught me. It was very good. I really enjoyed it. Like it wasn't. I don't think it wasn't scary. It was a thriller. It was like what's going to happen. And the dark humor really makes it work. And I liked, the ending where it would have been. The
ending was great.
It would have been cool, like because she's a big Survivor fan.
Yeah.
And there's even like of part.
Which, if she didn't have that, if she knew nothing about, they would have died.
Oh,
like
absolutely.
there's no way they would have survived all this time there. Yeah.
But there's a scene in the movie where she even has like her trailer or her Survivor audition tape like come to light.
Yeah.
And that was like cringy.
That was very cringy.
But it would have been also cool if like at the end of the movie she was on Survivor.
Yeah.
But it ended up
I liked the way they wrapped her character up though.
It ended up like her writing a book about her time on the island and everything like that, and playing golf, which is like a callback to earlier in the movie where the guy that Dylan O'Brien gave the promotion over Rachel McAdams, one of the reasons was he likes to play golf. So here she is at the end of this movie playing golf, rich now after writing this book.
Yeah.
So it was very well done.
It was great, like full circle.
Yes, yeah, moment. It was very well done. The writing was good. The humor was outstanding. Again, I really think that's what makes this separate from other movies similar to this and really makes it work and why it was so good. The gore was appropriate. I don't think it wasn't like
over the top. It was lot, but not over the top. The
scenes that had the gore were a lot, but it wasn't gore throughout the entire movie. It had some good jump scares, and Dylan O'Brien and Rachel McAdams did an absolute phenomenal job. I think that they're great actors, and they played their roles very well. So our final cinema couple review is absolutely go see it. Go to the theaters, see it, go watch it. It's great. It's another great date night movie. We loved it. I mean, we'd watch it again just because it's a humor. It's one of these movies too, where it's like if there wasn't the humor, it's one of those things where like, well, you know what happens. Like but the humor makes you want to watch it again. So it's it'll be watched again in this house, that's for sure. So until our next podcast and movie review, we're the cinema couple, and we'll talk to you guys later.